It's the JT Cho Show!
10, Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the JT Show. I'm your host, JT. Today's the 29th of January. I know you're going to see I'm going to start off the episode differently. Usually I just record this all in one, but the Packers lost. I know you're probably dying to hear how I really feel about it. So I was in mourning on Monday. I had a rough one, but I laid it on the line for you guys. So enjoy this next segment. This is my initial takes after the loss. There's been a lot to think about, but I hope you enjoy.
Welcome, everyone. By the way, I bought a new external hard drive because my laptop sucks. Okay, I don't have a huge rig for the JT Show episode 64. Got to return this external hard drive because it doesn't support Mac products. So thanks for nothing. Research that I didn't do beforehand. Now, my voice is raspy because I'm in mourning from yelling at the TV on Sunday, the 24th. It's the 26th today. You'll get it late. You'll get this podcast later today. But this was one of the toughest losses that I have ever experienced as a Packers fan. Liz Gonzalez from Barstool Sports, she was really sad because of the things that Aaron Rodgers said. There's a lot of things that nobody can guarantee right now. This was a heartbreaker. You have to give it up to Tom Brady, though. I mean, to do what he just did with 3 interceptions, that's one of the main reasons the Packers didn't win. You got 1 score off of 3 turnovers. Not even that. You got 1 score, and then the next 2 drives, you didn't even get a first down. That's what made me sick to my stomach. It was the 3rd downs in the first quarter. Oh, 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 9. Now it's 3rd and 8, and they get 15 yards. It was tough to watch. We had our opportunities, and they just didn't capitalize 2 times in a row. Couldn't even get a first down. I was so disappointed. I was so sad. I rode my exercise bike for the entire 2nd quarter because I was so sad. I've been in mourning for about, I'm going to say, almost 30 hours. And it's tough, man. I love the Packers. I've been a Packers fan since Favre, because that's how small I was when I started liking the Packers, before I knew what a bandwagon fan was. I still love the city of Detroit. I feel for Matt Stafford too. It's going to be a weird NFL season for sure, but you have to feel for Aaron Rodgers, you know? Like, he's the MVP this year, right? Everybody knows it. It's the most obvious thing you've ever seen. And this might be the most honest podcast that you will ever fucking listen to. Sorry for the cursing, but you will ever listen to. I'm giving you the chicken soup for the soul that the ginger doesn't have right now. I'm giving you the inside scoop of how I feel. And I am so sad. Let me tell you what. Okay. There was a time where I was watching the Packers play the Seahawks, and I was at a bar in New Mexico. I was at a B-Dubs. And every time I was sitting in the Seahawks section, and the Packers section was all sitting at the bar section of B-Dubs. And everyone was razzing me. It was a super long day, and when the Packers lost that game against the Seahawks, when they picked Russell Wilson off 4 times and they still lost that game, that's a tough loss to eat, but this was one of the toughest losses I've ever had to watch in my entire life. And it's going to take a little bit to get over it. It's just one of those things where you just it's because you had that feeling, you had that like, this is it, this is our year. Okay, it's just, I just don't know how else to describe it, it makes me sad because we should have had it. There was a couple bad calls, yes. And then, most of the game, they're going to let them play. And I said, okay, as long as they call it the same the whole game. But then, here's where you get the critiques of how you put it. Tom Brady calls. Kind of like LeBron James calls, But, third down, he throws it to his receiver who doesn't catch it. Oh, pass interference. Holding, defensive holding, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it was holding. It was holding. Look how much jersey he had. Look how much shoulder pad he had twice. It's a tough one to eat, though, probably, I don't know, not much after the moment where instead Green Bay, instead of going to like a shell defense or a 2 safeties over top or even a dime defense for the fuck of it, they went to a, man, like a man coverage, and Tom Brady throws it to the end zone, oh, didn't see that one coming. No, they're not punting. Well, I guess with 8 seconds and no timeouts, they're probably going to throw it to the end zone one time. Let's go do a prevent defense. Nah, dude, let's lock them down. Oh, man. That killed us. Probably when that happened, I got my exercise bike out and I just rode into the wind, man. I basically just pedaled for, I'm going to say, it was right around like an hour and 15 minutes, just trying to get this frustration out. Aaron Jones with the fumble. I'm not saying that's his fault. That's just a great tackle. Okay. Shoulder pad into the ball. But it's a process. My coworkers, I had to go to work that night, and I said, hey, just I don't want to talk about it. I just want to process everything internally and go home, and I'll be fine later. It's still tough. Some of the toughest things about it. Memes are funny, and you gotta laugh them off, but they're just dogging Aaron Rodgers, who's great. One of them said that like Aaron Rodgers is Matthew Stafford with one fluke season. Changed my mind. I'm like, oh my god. Another one's like Tom Brady's been in the NFC 1 year, and Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees has been in the NFC like 26 years or whatever it is, and Tom Brady's got as many NFC championships as both of them, and I'm just like, I'm so sad. The Packers are 4-1 in the NFC championships. Someone changed the Wikipedia page to the NFC championship games when a team goes to the NFC championship and and beats the Packers. One Cuts roast me as well. He's like, sending me like, if you've ever watched Naruto, my pain is greater than yours. That's what it feels like. It's supposed to be a year, and Aaron might want out. He might want a all or nothing team. He might want to. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to watch. It's 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 really hard to take in because you just you've been blessed with Brett Favre, and then you get Aaron Rodgers right off the rip. Who I personally that wasn't a fan of because I like the Packers because of Brett Favre, and I love Aaron Rodgers to death, and he's a great guy, and statistically he does things. I mean, Brett Favre was a gunslinger, but like Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day. Um, everyone like they're quoting the articles of gutted. I feel gutted. Um, just it. I was just hoping we'd go to the Super Bowl. Get number 2 for Aaron. As much as I want Matthew Stafford to have a Super Bowl, I want Aaron Rodgers to have 2 Super Bowls. And it's tough. It's just Tom Brady being Tom Brady, some Packer fans are real salty. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Aaron's better even though no, Tom Brady has 6. And he's made it to 10 Tom Brady's more likely to go to the Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to make a 3-pointer. Does that not blow your fucking mind? That is the craziest stat ever. It's just one of those things where you're just like, wow. It's so impressive. You'll unless Mahomes, okay, I'm going to tell you this right here. I'm going with Tampa. They beat my indestructible Packers. Everyone was riding the Packers' coattail. And Tom Brady did enough. He did what Tom Brady does. He puts his team in the best position to win the game. Yeah, he threw a couple picks, but 1 for 3 of scoring off those picks. That's where we lost. Okay? We could have called a couple holds. Sorry, excuse me, I'm yawning. It's late. It's late and I'm in mourning. Okay, I'm wearing these ridiculous sunglasses. But it's because I'm in mourning. It's real sad. Today's the last day of Apex Season 7. I didn't get every single objective, but I did max out at 110. Oh man, wow. Why are you so tired? Yeah, what sucks is I bought this external hard drive, by the way, that I told you about a little earlier. Doesn't support Mac, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to I might just keep it and then just order one that supports a Mac, but I'm going to have to get a flash drive or something because my computer has like no memory. So it's pretty lame. But I needed to shoot this podcast. I've had a lot of like audio difficulties and stuff like that over the last like couple days. My computer just needed like a double hard reset earlier because it wasn't streaming correctly. This is all coming after a loss to where you feel like nothing can go right. It's just broken forever. And usually I'm better at identifying what's wrong with, streaming, my computer, things of that nature. But I was just too sad to care. I was whatever, you know. It's it's tough. Uh the field goal that we took at the end of the day was like Aaron Rodgers said it. He said, "Hey, I understand the logic, 4 timeouts, but here's the thing. You're at the 13. Who cares if Aaron Rodgers didn't run? I mean, he could have gotten to the 2. Nobody knows what could have happened. Okay, he chose what he chose. You're not on the field. You're not seeing what Aaron Rodgers sees, and neither does I. I know this English isn't correct all the time, but at the end of the day, he chose to do what he chose to do, and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it more than coach's call of taking him off the field. Now, with 4 timeouts left, including the 2-minute marker, why not go for it? And then even if you stop him, you're going to get better field advantage. Because even if you scored, like let's say they scored on 4th down and they didn't tie it up, well then, hey, guess what? You still got time to have 4 timeouts and blah, blah, blah. You've got the MVP of the league and you took him off the field at 4th down. That's got to upset Aaron Rodgers. Because it definitely upset me. Unprofessionally, I've yawned a couple times today. It's because I've been up all day. Haven't been able to sleep because of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's tough. I wanted to record this tonight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split this up. I just had to get this off my chest right now, and then I'll record the second half of this episode later today. But for now, I'm just gonna record this, save it, and then we'll record part 2 tomorrow. We'll mash it together, and it'll be uploaded on the 26th of January. But man, I wish this was the Packers' year. Tomorrow we'll talk about some video games, some movies coming out, this and that, Godzilla versus King Kong, all that jazz. But for right now, we're gonna call it because I'm getting a flash that my memory is almost full, even with my flash drive.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, I hope you enjoyed that. That was pure from the heart. Shout out to Liz from Barstool. She's a fan too. It was a very tough loss. There's still a lot to process, but I'm over grieving it. I had my night of. I didn't cry. Cried at TV shows. I didn't cry to movies. I didn't cry to this though, because in my heart, I know that there's still time. There's still time for magic left. And that's all. That's all I'm really gonna say about it. What a crazy week with stocks. The stonks. But what a crazy week it's been though here in America again. It's like Bernie Sanders raises $1 million for charity by taking his meme, putting it on a T-shirt, and selling it. And a lady that sewed his mittens, I think she was getting people wanted to buy mittens like that. So she's instead of she'll never be able to do the supply and demand that she does. So she would have to essentially make mittens full time. So she's auctioning 3 pairs off for charity. One's for a dog shelter, I believe. I can't remember the second, and then the third is for her daughter's college fund. So that's pretty cool. But I mean, you get good stories like that, but then you get stories these Redditors, and they're buying stocks, and basically they're screwing over billionaires who are losing billions of dollars, and America's like, hey, look at the little guy win, and then the big man's like, no, we're gonna change the rules, and then Dave Portnoy from Barstool's like, I'm going ham crazy, and this is the media this is the entertainment that a good podcaster and a good businessman, the pizza guy, the guy that rates your pizzas is he's looked at as a money guy. Like, that guy makes fucking money. Like, you put all your, like, whatever you think Dave Portnoy is, and by the way, I see I'm looking a little chubby, but anyways, the way that you look at Dave Portnoy, like, ethically aside, no matter what you think of him, because there's people that think very poorly of him, and there's people that, like who enjoy his success. As long as he's never crossed the line, and if he did one of those events that do get you quote unquote canceled, yeah, I guess there's a time to let people go. But wild accusations never seem to get this guy. It's pretty wild. Out of context is something that happens with a lot of his forms of media, because that's what happens. But he's raising $33 million for charity, and at the same time he's going after Robinhood, destroying their company just by word of mouth with his stoolies. It's the wildest time to live in. And I'm just here to say, hey guys, I started playing Crash Bandicoot again. It's pretty fun. But no, hey guys, sorry sometimes when I don't get back to you. The Packers did lose. I was pretty depressed. I'll be real. I've been trying to exercise more. I had to sleep in. Let's talk about like the vet, okay? My yearly dogs had their checkups. They're in good bill of health. I'll tell the story. I had to walk to the vet. It's not that far away. My dogs enjoy a walk. So, they walk there fine. It's like 33 degrees, but it's less than a half mile. And I'm wearing like, my full face shield, gloves, layers. They're having a great time. And then I get there and they're like, lobby's closed, and call this number. I thought they might pull you into an office, but they just take your dogs and they say wait in the car. Well, I didn't have a car, so I had to wait outside. And they were running behind for like an hour. So I had to sit outside for an hour, and then the dogs each sat outside with me for like, 30 minutes apiece while they were in and out of their appointments. And so like, I was petting them, and, I got a husky, so she was warm, and Thor, he's a big fat chunker. So, they were fine, and, gave them, a little TREATS. I would say the word, but they're looking at me, and I don't want to get them excited. But bought them special ones, like little miniature bones, and fuck, did they love it. But, yes, I did get their nails clipped, because everyone hates clipping nails for animals. I just can't. It's so scary. But, I had that done, so that's like a $240 appointment. Their yearly shots, their good bill of health, their health exams, worm check, all that jazz. My cat started acting weird. Talked to an old vet assistant chick, and then Googled. But I asked her, and she said one of two things, and she was partially right: bacteria infection, and an ear infection. So now twice a day I have to put eardrops from the refrigerator in poor Harrison's ears. He does not take it like a champ, but he doesn't fight it. He lets it happen. He runs off in anger. And then I have to feed him 2 pills a day, which I don't know if you had a difficult dog, but sometimes like even when you hide the pill and the cheese, they'll like put it in their mouth and then like just spit the pill out. There's a dog on the internet that does it very well, by the way. If you can probably, if you listen to Your Mom's House, Nadav, if you don't Google like Nadav, then you'll probably find it on the internet. But, so, I've never had to take care of a cat like this, and I was going to crush up his pills and, mix it in like some wet food and treat him and stuff like that, but, I literally put the pill on the ground next to all his other treats, and he just eats it up twice, 2 times in a row, no questions asked. And I was like, wow, dude, like having a cat's pretty wild, like Harrison Ford he's a good kitty, and like, he's already doing better. He's back to eating well. So all of my animals at the end of the day, cost me a lot of money. But it's crazy how much it costs to take care of your pets, and you love them so much, so you just pay it. It's like, should I start getting health care for my animals? Is that a thing? Should I, take out $1,000 deductible every year, just in case my, cat wants Botox? I don't know. Maybe my cat wants to look the way that he looks on the inside, but no, he's a good heckin' kitty. I'm glad they're healthy. I'll just have to work harder for some cash. But at the end of the day, I got healthy animals. So, that's always a good thing. My streaming transition. My streaming's been going pretty well, by the way. I've gained some followers. Jeff's been helping me out. I got a cool little background beat. My PC's running great. Gary's PC, his PC came in the good. Excuse me for 1 second. I thought I was going to sneeze, and I didn't want to sneeze right into the mic, but anywho. So we're excited. We're going to kind of geek out tomorrow and, play this and that. He's really sold on mouse and keyboard, which I eventually want to transition to, but I still like playing games with controller. I don't think I'm going to switch over from Apex to the PC unless I absolutely have to, because I have so much experience on the Xbox, and it sucks that you can't, I don't know why that technology doesn't exist. Why can't I just log in with my account and then play and then have everything downloaded? So they need to figure that out. I wish I had some pulls, like hey, Mr. Boss Man, make this happen, So I've been doing that. Crash Bandicoot. I've been playing this really fun game that Jeff recommended. I can't think of what it's called. It's Katana something, maybe. Sounds close. Katana Zero. I don't know. We're going to have to Google it. Here, watch this. Nadav off of Your Mom's House can't Google things, so if I just type in Xbox Katana Zero, yep. So it's a really fun side scroller. Essentially, the premise of the game is you enter a level, and there's an X amount of bad guys, and if you get hit one time, you die, and you have to rewind and play the whole level over. So if they're difficult, each time you mess up, you kind of learn from your mistakes, so you know the next pattern of the move of the people that makes. So it's endless replays, but once you get through the level, then you can it shows you a game clip of the level, and then you can fast forward through that level, and it makes you look sick, even though you might have done it slow. So it overall, it's a cool game. I watched Jeff play a couple. I want to watch Jeff, the US War Machine. Shout out twitch.tv/US_WAR_machine. Check out his stream. He's got great content. But I don't want to spoil the game. It's got an interesting story with choice. It's got choices that for a side scroller, depending on how you talk to characters, I think could affect the outcome of the game. So that's pretty advanced for a side scroller. Overall, though, it's great. Oh, by the way, you might be noticing. You're like, here, hold on. I promised I'd do this just so you know. But you're like, man, dude, where'd you get that cool shirt that says Star Damage? And what is it? Well, my friend Hulk John and his boss started a band. And a ginger's got to support a ginger, but his content, unlike mine, is going to be pretty great. So once you follow me on my Twitter, JTofJbill, I'll send some links when he has music out. Go check that motherfucker out. Anywho, I've been swearing. I've been trying to work on the language. I don't know if this is a family show or not. I don't think it is. It says I've been getting 60 pulls a week. Which, thank you, by the way, if that's a real number. But, that's great for me because, I'm grinding a full-time job and then producing this show, no matter how lame you think it is. And I'm producing the football show, and I have to, coordinate when people can do it on my schedule, too, which my friends are all great. They all understand. The Super Bowl episode, Earl will be on vacation. So he'll be live, but we're not going to tell you from where. Really excited for that. But I've got that, and then I got real life stuff to do. I'm still working on the basement. I think once I'm done with the basement, I might give you guys a basement tour, depending if I drop my studio in the basement, because that's where I want to drop the PC downstairs, play in the basement, just so I can be loud. Just so I can be energetic, just so I can provide you guys with the entertainment that you deserve, man. By the way, shout out to Nick Minerath, professional basketball player playing in Korea right now. he hit this sick ass game winning shot. He shared that on his Instagram, Cape Cod Kid, and he shared it on his story mode of people like recording it from different angles. But he just balled this 3-pointer in. It was pretty dope to look at. So shout out to that game winner for that game. I couldn't tell you which team is which team because I don't know their names, but I know an ill-ass shot when I see an ill-ass shot. So, I got this 3-day weekend off. I'm going to try to hit up Pratt Daddy. As you might know, I'm on PlayStation, but Prather, I'm going to try to get him on episode 65. Definitely trying to get cut on here for this episode special. It's the episode after 68, but before 70. So we got to make that happen. So I might be pushing a few more episodes, maybe a little shorter here and there, because we're really trying to hit that nice number, that number that, like nice, or like, that number. Gronk loves that number. We're trying to get Gronk as a special guest, but again, like, I don't got connections like that. He's preparing for a Super Bowl, so I don't think that's going to happen. But like I've mentioned previously, Cut's going to be here. We're going to pig out. We're going to watch the game. We're going to have a good time. Taking the Super Bowl off and watching it, I love watching the Super Bowl. Like, people complain sometimes about the scores and this and that, but it's still a game. It's still the game of football, and sometimes you might be like, yeah, that game sucked. And I dog games in the regular season. I'll be real, and if it's a god awful playoff game, then I won't even really dog it that much. I'll just be like, wow, I can't believe that team's that much better. Like, these teams both were playoff caliber teams, but this is definitely the 1 seed. And sometimes you can be like, oh, that's a week 1 seed, Green Bay NFC championship game. But I don't really dog on Super Bowls either. Like, I mean, if I had to say the Panthers versus the Broncos, that was like, whatever, dude. I didn't really care, like, at all. Like, that's the one that I didn't really care about at all. But still a good Super Bowl, I guess. It just, all the ones I watch these days, I mean, I have a good time, dude. It's not about, the game has a huge impact of it. I'd say the game is 60%, but you got the atmosphere, the food, drinks, your bros, your bros. Wow. No, but like, I'm saying bros is like all your homies, all your homies that want to sit down and have a good game, eating like nachos, the food, the smell of the food, some 7-layer bean dip. Like, this is America. Like, this is what we do. We just get fat and watch TV. And then we say, wow, I've gotten so fat that I have to eat less food. And then we go to the gym and we're like, I got to look skinnier. I want to look like a skeleton. But it's a wild cycle. Right now, I'm a little chunkier, okay? I rode my exercise bike only for 30 minutes today, not an hour. I get the inside joke. It's not a really good one, but I didn't ride it as much as I'd like to. It's very cold today. I'm going to try to run outside tomorrow. I'm also working on the basement tomorrow, so that's why I took it a little light today. But, that basement's going to be an hour's worth of hard work, and I'll get that mid-afternoon nap, and then I'll be, streaming and computer gaming with Gare Bear. And I'm sure Cut's coming out. Cut and I are going to stream tonight. I'm going to edit this first, and then upload it. And then after it's uploaded, then I hop on the old PC because I don't want the connection to be slow, so I have less excuses to give you guys when I die. So we'll talk about another thing. As you know, I've been looking for other lines of work, and I just got rejected for a job. Which is no big deal. You kind of want to know why, and so you have to dig into it, and then you got to call HR, and it kind of makes you look needy, but I'm really only doing it so that I can figure out how I can use that information to improve myself for the next job resume. But on top of that, I'm doing this because I need a more, normal schedule. I'm really trying to drive to, Ohio, Chicago, hopefully if they're open, maybe as far as Illinois, maybe even into a little bit of Wisconsin if they open up, but I really got to start hitting up comedy clubs. I can't keep running my mouth saying I want to become a comedian and never do stand-up, and unfortunately right now Michigan's still on lockdown. Now, my overall plan to get discovered by sending Joe Rogan a resume just to work at his comedy club that he's building in the future. And if I'm just gonna be like, hey, I want to work here as an employee, and I would like 5 minutes of stage time a week. That's it, like work my way up from that. Yeah, that's a dream, but I mean, like Joe Rogan, don't even know who I am. He's Joe Rogan's Joe Rogan. He's right. He's at the top of the crop right now, number one in the game in podcasting. His stand up is hilarious. He's definitely in my top 10. Because my number one, Dave Chappelle, 100%. That's my number one. I'll go through comedians list, but I will say Dave Chappelle's my number one. I'm going to tease you guys. We'll talk about that next time. I'll bring somebody else on. But just to name a few that'll be on that list, you got Bruce Krisner, you've got Tom Segura, you've got, and if you don't get that joke, then you don't know. You've got, I've been watching old Eddie Murphy ones on Netflix. They just put the one where he's in the purple suit, which, by the way, I'm gonna try to I told you guys my plan: do stand-up comedy. If I never get discovered, I'm still shooting a special. I'll edit it. I'll throw it on the YouTube, and I gave it a shot, and that's my ultimate goal: just to give it a shot. But if I don't make it, at least I tried. But I'm gonna try to again. I want to wear a jogger suit, and I want to have a white T-shirt, a big gold chain, and I either want to get a cool ass Nike one, or should I take a Puma one or like an Adidas one? I think the Adidas has one of the illest suits like that, jogger suits, whatever they're called. But I really want to get one now, but I don't want it to get ruined. But that's what I'm definitely gonna wear for my special. So just to let you guys know for the future. So I'll be driving to Ohio, maybe some Kentucky or Tennessee. If I get discovered, I have friends in lots of cities, and I will just every weekend just be, hopefully I can make this a career and make money and be able to support myself. But I've got to get better and I've got to get practice, and that's why I got to start driving hours away just to do stand-up. So once Michigan opens up again, then cool. But as of right now, unless there's some speakeasy comedy clubs, I don't really know what else to say. I'm trying to, I'm typing up a packet to the city of Jackson to try to bring a comedy festival to Jackson. That's a surprise too if you never heard it from here. So if I can do that, then I can bring some comedians along hopefully and shoot some emails out and get them paid and get them out here. And even if COVID's still a thing, we can do it outside on the fairgrounds in the summer. And even if it rains, just bring some camping chairs and an umbrella, and we can do it outside. And I think outside with a crowd is. But I'm not knocking drive-in comedy things like Britt Kersner did. But again, if you don't know that joke, then it's on you. Cat, need more eardrops? Poor Harry. What a rough week it's been for that cat. But yeah, got to get that practice in for sure. Other than that, though, everything else has been going good. It's been a pretty cold week here in Michigan. Everyone's been shut inside, and it's very cold. It's supposed to snow on Sunday, which means you got to shovel. Oh, it's so beautiful. I hate shoveling. Shoveled my whole life. But it's got to be done to get out of my driveway. There's a little lip. It's hard for little cars to get up. Next week, again, we'll have the pick Super Bowl episode, and then we have to do the belt ceremony when that finally gets ordered. But there's lots of content to come for sure. I appreciate everyone that continues to watch the JT Show. it's really chugging along, and it's at a pace that I'm comfortable with. Because, I mean, like, what would happen tomorrow if, like, you know, I had 2,000 pulls? I had 2,000, I'd throw up. You know, I think I'm 30, but I think I'm mature enough to, like, oh, I'm famous, but, like, no, I mean, like, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, let's go wild. I want to be like, wow, dude, now I want to pour more effort into my work that's finally paying off. So, like, the more people that listen, not that I already take away a lot of time, but, like, you know, if you can support yourself on this and this could be my full-time job, man, the content that could come out of that would be astronomical for my career that doesn't exist yet. So that's why I thank you guys all the time, because you guys are so rad. The ones that hop on my chat, the ones that leave YouTube comments, hey, give me an anime, you know, like, which, by the way, it's not bad. Demon Slayer on Netflix, English dub. I've watched Japanese sub already. Fantastic series. I'm just watching English dub just to see how it is and get kind of a refresher course because I'm definitely going to the movie here in America. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I hope everyone enjoys my Packers rant. If you guys watch it, tag Liz from Barstool. I'm going to tag her in the intro to this. But it's just, you know, it's how I feel from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys liked it. Go to www.jtofjville.com. That has my Twitter links. That has my YouTube links. Has who I am, a little bit about me. JT of Jville. That's my handle on Twitter. That's my handle on the Insta. Ask me questions, comments, all that jazz. I appreciate you guys. I'll be coming out with another episode in just a couple days. I might save it to release on Monday to give you guys more time. But thank you guys so much. And then if you listen to this immediately, I'll be streaming. So adios, amigos.